what's your message to those who are struggling to find their own path to success?
Man, as I like to say, man, don't be a dumbass with a smartphone.
This your boy Ty Corbett, host of the No Excuse Podcast. We'd like to welcome you in, and if you want to learn more about staying motivated, staying tuned in, this is the place to be. We make no excuses for being great. So from mindset to motivation, from entrepreneurship to being helpful in your community, this is the place to be. Watch, look, listen, and learn. Stay tuned in. Today, I have a special guest here, and to do this introduction, I don't know if I can even do it because he's so amazing in the things that he's doing and what he's got going on. So let me give you a little bit of his background, a little of his accolades and the things that he's been doing. On this episode, we're going to talk to a magnificent young man who has been doing great things. One of the things that you all will know him from is the Legendary People Podcast, official network and chill, author of Dash Resources, merch, clothing line, and Shankofa Investment Group.
For sure.
Please, let's give a warm welcome to my guy, Mr. Curtis Peanut Johnson.
My dog,
There
man.
we go.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, thank you, man. I'm so gracious, man. Thank you, man. Hey, listen, y'all gotta come out to this studio, man. Listen, they're doing their thing. I ain't gonna hold you, man, for sure.
So thank you for coming. We are just glad to have you here. And today, we just gonna dig deep, man.
So, man.
We are from the city. We repping, Dayton, and we rep. I think we all rep it very well. I am proud to be from Dayton. I know you proud to be from Dayton. So we're gonna get into some deep topics, and we're gonna make no excuses for being great. That's what this is all about. And I just want to dig into my first question.
Okay.
And so, just big, because I know you're doing so many big things and so many great things. And I know sometimes in life, we look back on it and we like, man, I kind of regret that I did that.
Yeah.
So right now, can you just tell me, with all the accolades and all the things that you've done in life, do you have any regrets? And if so, what would be your biggest regret in life?
Man, and that's amazing, right? Because even on the Legendary People Podcast, shameless plug, right? I ask people about, we had this time machine. Where would you go? And what would you whisper in their ear, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, man, I would have to say, man, everything has been, like even the fall downs of like me skinning my knee, it turned to a scab that made me stronger, man. So yeah. I would honestly say, man, I'm cool with all them losses, man, because you can't spell million without them L's in it, man.
Absolutely. So I do, and I wanted to start off with that question, but I do want to go into some more, and we're going to dive a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me one of your biggest and most difficult.
Yeah.
Because I know, especially in business, we have a lot of decisions that we have to make, whether it is kind of moving on with childhood friends, family, and just making some real tough decisions.
Yeah.
Can you tell me one of the most difficult decisions you ever had to make in life?
Man, and you know what? It's gonna sound kind of simple, man. It's because I'm a person where, like, if you need me to do something, I'm always there for you, right? So the hard thing for me to do is say no, right? So like a lot of times on this journey of entrepreneurship, you can't expect the people that are closer to you to see the vision, right?
Absolutely.
So a lot of times you get this, man, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Or all these different things. But then the hardest thing to do is tell somebody no. So, I mean, I'm going to say on the family aspect to tell people no, right? No, mom, I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? I got this going on. No, shorty, I can't do this. No, I can't do this. Hey, I can't. You know what I'm saying? So, no. But to be more specific on, like, the, you know what I'm saying? Like, something like I had to literally put away was, like, my ego, right? Because, again, like, for instance, so, like, one of my first entrepreneur ventures was the futuretechstore.com, right? And I did it because I needed a sponsorship for my YouTube channel. So I did this in a roundabout way to smoke out sponsors, right? So I'm like, hey, I'm already sponsored by this techstore.com, but ego still wanted me to continue doing it after I got sponsors. They're like, man, you can do this business, and I didn't have enough time to do it. And I had to tell myself, like, nah, what are you doing, bro? You're losing money in this effort. You know what I mean? So that's definitely one L that I took, but it really wasn't no L's or lessons.
Absolutely. And we make no excuses.
For sure.
We make no excuses. And sometimes we have to make those tough decisions, and we have to, and this is for everybody out there who's watching this. it's okay to say no.
Yeah.
And make no excuses for that.
Sure.
And so I'm glad you said that, because a lot of times people don't adhere to the feelings and the things that they need first.
Right.
Because it's hard to build yourself if you're constantly working on building and taking the responsibility of others and doing for other people and not making sure that you healthy, your mentals is right, and all those things. So make no excuses for that. So that's what this is about. So we're gonna get a little deeper. We're gonna keep on going because this is where it's at.
For sure.
So I'm gonna ask you this, because I know everybody that I've talked to have always give me a different answer. What's the meaning of life?
Okay. So man, it's funny that I like this is my favorite analogy, right? Like, think of our body, right? So like, let's say you woke up today and all you had was the water in front of you, and all you can see is your reflection, right? And then you come across somebody else, and then they have eyeballs, both hands, both legs, and then you come across somebody who don't got it. Like one person got one leg, one person got one arm. That person gonna need your help. So I feel like the meaning of life is to help other people. Like, I'm giving these extra extremities to be able to help somebody else. I'm giving 2 legs because I see people navigate with 1 leg. Okay. I see people navigate with 1 eye. Yeah. But the fact that we got extra is to help other people. I think the meaning of life is just simply that, is to help other people.
It's to help other people. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. So I want to ask you something, because I know you have a lot of business ventures and it's so amazing in a podcast yourself. Especially with network and chill, which is so amazing, and for everybody who's out there, man, make sure y'all go out and check that out, because it is phenomenal. When making and deciding to go into business for yourself and becoming an entrepreneur, what obstacles and barriers did you face, and were those obstacles and barriers so overwhelming that you wanted to give up?
Right. So one of the biggest barriers that we have is ignorance, man. Like, for instance, like, you may see, for instance, I mean, like, now I know what a SWOT analysis is, but when I first started business, I didn't know what a SWOT analysis was. So when I wanted to implement my business structure, I was implementing other people's business structure, not knowing that things that make me different is what'll make me better, right? Like, if everybody made McDonald's, then Hardee's wouldn't have a clientele. You wouldn't have Red Lobster. You wouldn't have all these different things. So when I'm starting a networking event or group or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get that somebody saying, oh, he got gold teeth. Oh, he got tattoos. Oh, he got braids. And it's like, those type of things right there would be something where you would see people shy or be scared, or they feel like, oh, I can't push through because I got one negative fallback from that. But then when they get a chance to hear you talk and see you actually brilliant, or they get a chance to see the business that you're actually developing, when they found out that one person came to your organization and got $250,000 offer for their business, then they start to come around, because the same person who said that to one of the clients actually showed up this season, was like, so wait a minute, his name Peanut, he got gold teeth, he got tattoos, and then now they at this season too. So I ain't put your name out there to you for sure. Like, that's one of the barriers, is that. Another thing is also, man, like, that inner struggle of you saying, you know what, man, like, I can just go get a job. You know what I mean? Like, that's always like the, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like the safeguard, or, you know what I'm saying? I call it like, you know what I'm saying? Like the bullet in the head of, okay, well, I can just quit this and then go to doing the job. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? You got to grind through those moments, because I promise you, the time you work in 2 weeks in a hole with the same type of struggle you can go through as an entrepreneur, if you can stomach that 2 weeks in a hole, you can stomach being an entrepreneur. And I promise you, like, a lot of times people done took so many L's doing everything else wrong. Like, for instance, like, we done took L's in the streets, but you would still go back to it. You done went to jail over this, you still go back to it. But you can't do something that's going to actually benefit your life by doing the entrepreneurship, something that's actually noble, and you actually can provide a actual cornerstone for your family going forward, rather than doing something that's just going to put you on the treadmill going nowhere fast.
Yeah. So in all honesty, it's just still making no excuses.
For sure.
Still making no excuses for the barriers that we face.
Exactly.
So, I can hear the passion. Yeah. Like, I can hear the passion in your voice. So that's going to kind of, and it makes me feel very comfortable with asking you this next question. For
sure.
I want you to tell me a little bit about the upbringing. Now, I know for me, I was raised in a single parent home. My uncle was amazing, with coming in when I was at a certain age, around 12, and taking me and kind of showing me how to be a man.
Right.
So can you talk to me a little bit about how you grew up and those influences that changed you or made you who you are, whether it was the fact that you was with mom, you was with dad, or whoever, but just kind of talk to us about that, and then that's going to kind of, I got something else.
Right, got you. All right, so bookmark in the first part where I said I would not change a thing about how I grew up. But man, or I wouldn't go back and change anything, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up as humble as Sully, of course. You know what I'm saying? I got a chance to hear his story. Salute to my bro. You know what I'm saying? I literally grew up shaking roaches out my book bag before I had to go to school in the morning. Literally, like, my mom had a full-time job, but you know how it is when your mom got a full-time job, she ain't never there. You know what I'm saying? My stepdad was the person, like, we kind of looked up to. You know what I'm saying? He, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's an entrepreneur himself. My brother is 7 years older than me, so he's running the streets, and you know what I'm saying? I'm the middle child, so it's me, and then my sister ain't nothing but 15 minutes younger than me. Oh, she ain't my twin, I'm being joking. She like 1 year, you know what I'm saying, like, younger than me. And you know what I'm saying, it became the point where I had to be way more responsible at an age that now, like me looking at my son or my daughter when they 7 years old and they at home by themselves, it just wild to me. But like, that's normal. I mean, my grandmother real instrumental in my upbringing. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother, Annie Bonaparte, legend in the city for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally Ron McGlynn came to her doorstep asking for advice on policies and things of that nature. But like, my grandmother stayed literally like six or seven blocks down Edison. So my mother would literally walk to the corner of Lorenz, and I'm 7 or 8 years old walking down the street all the way, like literally having to cross traffic to get down there. But I don't know, like, those things just make you, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, like, I call it like it pepper your steak. Like, it add more to you, because I see a lot of people nowadays where, like, they still struggling with the smallest steps of becoming, you know what I'm saying, a adult. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up playing basketball, love basketball, hooping. You know what I'm saying? We used to go to Resurrection, hoop. We leave from there, go to Roosevelt, hoop. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, like, in Westwood, if somebody seen a basketball in your hand, they left the kid alone. But if they see you out there after the street lights the came on, you in inside the house, then you can, you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll bring you in then, or then to you know, to like, you know what I'm saying, you get into, you know what I'm saying, like the street life or like the street aspect. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, those type of things kind of kept me out of trouble early on, but I ended up getting into stuff later on in life. But like, my upbringing, man, like, I would have to say, man, you know what I'm saying, like, my stepdad always kept some money, always keep a nice car. It's a lot of these same things are reoccurring in, like, my life. He always still chases his dream. He still chases his dream today. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't let nobody tell him no or put it on pause. Like, nah, I'm doing my dream. I'll help you, whatever. Like, and man, one thing I love with my stepdad is, man, he tip anywhere. I'm not talking about just like at like a restaurant.
Yeah.
Anywhere, corner store, man, here, man, put this in your pocket. He always like that, man. Like, salute to my step-pops, man, Rex, for sure.
That's great.
You know what I'm saying? And salute to my real dad, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a chance to talk to him later on, and he kind of filled in some advice for me, because I remember he said one check I could take to the cash, I could cash the check anytime I want to. He said, man, you ain't gonna understand this until you get kids. And listen, I cash that check every day. I understand. My mom wasn't easy to deal with. He wasn't easy to deal with. It's, you know what I'm saying, two toxic people, man.
And you know, that's, you know, for us in those stories, and we see the men that we are now.
Yeah.
But a lot of that people don't know and don't see.
Yeah.
And they don't see that those were all barriers, those were all struggles, those were all things that you went through in your life that could have derailed you.
Yeah.
But you made no excuses. You don't come and you don't wake up every morning and saying, well, this happened to me.
Yeah.
So now I'm not going to let it or allow me to be great and be successful because of these things. And that's what this is all about. That's what this podcast is all about.
Sure.
It's just making no excuses. And this is a prime example of an individual who has fought through adversity, made no excuses, became great, and still continue to be great and put success in our neighborhood.
For sure.
So much salute to you. So that leads me into a gateway, because I wanna ask, because as men, we're taught a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for me, I was taught, like, basically don't cry.
Yeah.
You know, if you fall, you skin your knee, or if you go outside and you get into a fight, you better not come in here crying.
Right.
And so I was always kind of taught with that with that lack of emotion, And how do you feel about that? And not if you grew up like that, but the emotional aspect of it, and how do you transfer that into your life or understanding of life and for your kids?
And honestly, that's something I kind of struggle when it comes to like relationships now because of that same aspect. You know what I'm saying? So like go back to my family structure. My oldest brother is 7 years older than me, right? So our mother had the only child for 7 years. Now, mind you, my mother is the only child. So she had her baby all to herself for 7 whole years, right? Coddled him. You know what I'm saying? He fought out, he extended his knee. Like, it was wild to me when I found out later on, like, my mom took him to swimming classes, all types of stuff. I'm like, wait, Mom, like, I learned how to swim at 21.
Yeah.
No cap, bro. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mother raised me hard because she saw 7-year run of him bump his head in the streets and people chasing him home. I wasn't getting chased home, you feel me? I'm out there, like, I'll hoop, and if it go past that on the court, I'm going to wash you up. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't come home with that sob story. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a story real quick, man. And salute to my big brother, Capo. Right? It's facts, right? So we at the basketball court, and he on the big boy side, we on the little boy side. I'm over there hooping. He over there hooping with, you know what I'm saying? Like, they running full. So my brother go up, get fouled, and then like the dude, which is it's cool now, you know what I'm saying? But him and my brother get into it. So the dude squared my brother take off running, leave his little brother at the court all by himself. So look, bro, like the hood never respected him after that. You know what I'm saying? But this is what made me during this time, because so I'm over there hooping with another little dude, and that's his nephew. So he told little nephew, like, well, like, since his brother ran, you gonna fight. So I'm like, man, I ain't about to fight him. Shit, it wasn't no choice. I had to fight him. And I beat him up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So after I beat him up, you know what I'm saying, I'm walking home, whatever, and then like the dude like followed behind me trying to make me fight again, because his people trying to make him fight me again. Like he just got embarrassed. So eventually I turned around and hit me in the eye with a rock. Like he hit me in the eye with a rock and stuff. So I ain't cried in, you know what I'm saying? I come home, my mama sitting out front, she see me and stuff with like a big old shiner. She turned around and slapped the shit out of my brother. Like, slap him. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you let your little brother like that? You know what I'm saying? But even then, I wasn't crying. Like, my brother cried when mama slapped him. Like, but it's like, those are things that I struggle with now, because I don't find weakness attractive. I don't. Like, I don't like the pity me. I don't like the woe me. I don't like the damsel in distress. And that stuff irritates me. Even when I meet new people and they just, oh, man, there's always a hurricane around me. I'm like, well, keep that hurricane over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm dead serious. And it's like, but other people are different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, last person I was dealing with, the only time her mom, you know what I'm saying? It was like her mom was on drugs. So the only time her mom gave her attention was when she was sick. So it's like, it's her whenever she wants some love, some care, she go, oh, I'm not feeling good today, because her mom only gave her coddling time when she's sick. So she's expecting when I'm busy, I'm going to stop what I'm doing because you just got a little stomach illness. I'm like, go sit on the toilet till you get done with it. Like,
yeah, so
respectfully.
So it sounds like, you know, just hearing that and hearing those stories, and a lot of us grew up like that. You know, a lot of us don't, and there's nothing wrong with walking away, because I want to make this clear. There's nothing wrong with walking away from a fight. There's nothing wrong with saying I don't want to physically get in any altercation. There's nothing wrong with that. But also stand up for yourself, speak up for yourself, and be strong in who you are. And my reason for asking you that question is because I think that as we grow and when we're younger, the things that have affected us, that we didn't know affect us, come out when we become adults.
Absolutely.
And we hold on to a lot of those things, and then we go out into the world, and big shouts out to the Power Hour, because the Power Hour was created on this premise that in order to start business, we want to be entrepreneurs, we want to be businessmen and women, but we have all these foundational things that we weren't able to deal with or have not dealt with, but then we want to go out into the world and create these businesses.
Right.
And then it's hard to focus on business when you focusing on my relationship is bad.
Yeah.
I can't see my kids. I'm just coming home from incarceration, or I'm about to go to incarceration. My schooling, lack of education, you know, things were so difficult in my household that, you know, I couldn't go to school. You know, these are all experiences that are true and really happen. And so, you know, for you to share that and share your experiences with us, that's just another testament on how we cannot make excuses.
None.
These things happen. And it's not to say that you can't get help, because you should. I think mental health is a big thing. I think it's a big crisis. And I think more of us in the community need to make sure that we go get that mental help and go seek the mental health. And that's for everybody, black, white, green, or blue. Everybody needs to go and really seek out mental health help if they need it.
Yeah. I like the if you need it, because there still gotta be people out there who just don't, like, some people use that and run with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, like sometimes most of the time, all the time, you need to toughen up. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you gotta just toughen up in order to go get help, you gotta toughen up. Like, don't sit in that dark cave. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, we talk about success and we talk about overcoming obstacles that we face and things like that. So can you define what is success to you?
Okay. So like success to me, of course, success is like relative, right? Such as and some people are successful at terrible, right? No, I'm dead serious. You feel me? Like, if your levels, like, there are people that I know or used to be associated with where their accolades were so low, but they were successful at reaching those low accolades, whether that is, oh man, I'm gonna get 20 chicks pregnant. Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna be the biggest dope boy in Dayton. Oh man, I'm gonna get a car on rims. And it's like, if that's a level of success for you, to me, it is what I'm building, and I think success comes after I'm gone. Like, right now I'm still on that journey, you know what I'm saying? Like, they call it a pursuit of happiness for a reason. And I think as long as I'm on that journey, you know what I'm saying, I'm steadfast in like what I'm building. But the way my kids look at me after this is my success. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, you know what I'm saying, it's good to get the accolades, good to get the classes, good to get the flowers while you're here. It's good to have a legacy involved, but legacy involves you leaving it for somebody else.
And we always talk about how much we want, how much more we want for our kids. And for me, I think education is the key. I think education is power. And so when we talk about education, and I know where I went, and I know what school system I went in, I know what school district I went in, and I know things have changed. Yeah. And I think I got a lot of love, I got a lot of knowledge, and I got a lot of help at the time that I was in school. So I want to ask you, do you feel like there are barriers that, and it's a bunch of them, because I know there is, but there are barriers dealing with the public school district and some of these Catholic schools or private institutions. Can you talk to us just a little bit about that when we look at the education system and what you may think may be the problem and how we can kind of combat that and what we can do as community members to help?
Okay, so absolutely, right. So I went to Dayton Public. My cousin, who was my best friend during the time of my early upbringing, he went to CJ. You know what I'm saying? I had a friend with a Trotwood. All these people within a football throw of a distance with different curriculums going on, right? So I definitely see like there's gaps in the system. But again, that's not a barrier. Like, I mean, even my cousin who went to CJ and had a better upbringing, I mean, the level of success he would want to trade at this point. I'm not saying that to say anything bad about him. All I'm trying to say is it takes something in you also, right? Because I always believe in the only education is self-education, right? Like, you could put all the best books of the best writers, of the best, right here in front of me. But if I'm not taking the time to break that down and digest it and then apply it, because the other part is applying it. Absolutely. So, you know what I'm saying, like the application of it is the main part of it. So even when I was in school, man, shout out to Mr. Lawrence, man, like he one teacher that saw the brilliance in me rather than when the other ones didn't, right? Because like I said before, like I was always smart, right? Always super smart. But certain teachers just didn't see it, you know what I mean? And he was one that like he tested me, you know what I'm saying? Like I was the person when I come in there, I get my classwork done so fast, I'm talking for the rest of the class. And while I'm hindering somebody else from them getting their education, we just busting it up, kicking it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm already done with mine, so like some teachers would just be used to it and just feel me, it'd be Peanuts comedy hour. But he was like, nah, what you doing? Like, to the point where he would write stuff on the board and he'd be like, he'd catch me in the third, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, answer this. Oh, it's 7. Yeah, bro, back when we doing. He looking like, wait a minute. So one day, he pulled me after class. He was like, man, listen, man, like you exceptional, man. Like you need to, and he put it in me, balls. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? In a situation where he made me believe it was more to what I was doing. Like, it wasn't just about, okay, you just passing. Like, you can be great. And I was just like, I still understand for myself.
But he didn't give you no excuse.
Right.
He didn't give you no excuse to not do the things that you needed to do to put the success in you.
Right.
If it was you clowning around or, distracting other kids, he said, nah, you ain't got no excuse.
Right.
To not be great, because I'm going to ensure that.
Right.
And once again, this is what it's about.
For sure.
We make no excuses for what we do and how we do it.
Right.
Being educators, providing more for our community, providing more for our kids, and expecting more. What you just said, applying.
Yeah.
We can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't apply it and you don't use it, don't mean nothing.
Nothing.
But we have to get back to expecting and requiring more from our kids and our community.
Absolutely.
I truly believe in the village. I believe in the village concept.
Yeah.
It's not just one. So when you say that, and shouts out, much love, and he gonna be on here soon. Well, Dr. David Lawrence.
Oh, word.
Be on here.
Salute to him, man. That's love. That's love. Quick story. So one day I'm at Third Park. Shout out to Juanita, right? I'm in there, and I was telling this same story to somebody else. He said, "Oh my God, like I know him." And it was probably like 1 o'clock in the morning, like leaving out. And I'm like, you got his number? He's like, yeah. I called him and left him this long voicemail. He probably was like, man. And then I actually went to a basketball game and I saw him and I showed him love, man. Mr. Lawrence.
That's Dr. Lawrence. We appreciate you so much. So, man, it's so much that we can sit and really discuss, and this is so phenomenal to have you here, man. So I do want to go in, and I want to ask you a few more questions. Sure. One of the biggest questions, and I know this is something that I had to learn, and I think every young man and young woman go through this in life, is making those hard decisions when to back away from certain friends, certain family members,
absolutely,
just certain individuals that may be on a different path. And let's say this, making sure that we understand they path don't necessarily mean it's a negative path.
Right.
I think sometimes we often look at it and we say, hey, I separated myself from them because they was doing something negative or they was going down the wrong path.
It ain't always that.
It ain't always that. It could be that, hey, she wants to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer.
Right.
I ain't saying we can't be friends,
right,
but I'm not taking none of the classes that she taking. Right. I'm not taking none of the classes that he taking. And so we just decide, I want to go to a HBCU. You want to go to a PWI. Sometimes we just go down different avenues and follow our own dream.
For sure.
And so make no excuses for that again.
Right.
But I want to ask you, when did you get to a point in your life where you felt like and you understood that I got to find my way, right, and I got to go and do the things that I need for me and not necessarily hold on to friendships based upon the fact that we just time.
Right.
You know, because some people look at them like, hey, I've been friends with him since kindergarten. It's okay.
Yeah.
So when did you make those decisions and you understood?
He gonna love this, man. This is the road where I finally met you, man, honestly. So my decision to go to school. You know what I'm saying? I was at St. Clair. He actually was my workout teacher.
Absolutely.
And listen, the way he is on this podcast, he was just like that in person, okay? The real life, the same way he is on the internet, okay? For real. Cause I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different feeling when like you come inside the classroom and then, you know what I'm saying, like you see him in there with the J's on and saying he fresh. I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be cool. And he like, hey, listen, you showing up late, I'm locking the door. You ain't like, you know what I'm saying? He was straight. What's the homie name? He was Joe Clark with it, like, bro, he put the J's on the door. You know what I'm saying? If you don't make it there on time, then you wasted your time. You know what I'm saying? It been time where I got there late and the door is locked. He in there, and it's like, you know, but that's the accountability I needed during that time, especially like I said before. It's very instrumental during this time of my growth because, like I said before, the time before I came from there, I'm hanging out with my friends all night. We all leaving the city and staying overnight, drinking. I swear, like, they literally call me shirt off shorty. Like, I swear every time, bruh, they literally just let me in clubs with no shirt on because they was like, he showing up with no shirt. Like, I'm like, I got a shirt tattooed on me. I don't need no shirt. Like, literally, like, I was a straight goofball. Like, nothing going on for real. Like, just partying, living some fake little rock star life for real. But that transition was when I seen literally my friends be on some still going in that direction, and then I went in this direction. Now, mind you, during that time, I'm still in the streets, though. I still got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And this is where my life kind of changed. You know what I'm saying? I actually ended up catching, something like a case during this time. I actually got pulled over in Building 20. Like the police went out through my car. They found certain items, whatever. Boom, I go to jail. My teacher out there who just thinks I'm brilliant, he thinks the world of me. Like, he literally was out there screaming at the police, like, why y'all messing with him? He's a good student, X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? Like going off. Some things got thrown out because of whatever situation was, but then this is where I came to the pivotal part of my life. So this is where Sinclair sent me a letter saying, you got arrested at school. We got to kick you out of school. And I'm just sitting there like, at that point, I could be like, it's over with for me. But I read the bottom, they said, if you want to appeal this decision, call this number. And I could have sat there at that point and be like, you know what? Forget it. But I didn't, bro. I called that number. I got a chance to go down there, talk to them. I'm telling you, man, when I told them my full life story, bro, the police officer that brought me up there was crying. Like, what? What do you mean your brother got shot right in front of your house? Oh, that's why you had that in your car. Okay, now we kind of understand where you're coming from. These are these barriers that I got to go through just to come to school, right? Just to come to school. Like, the average person that comes to school don't have that problem, right? Like, they go right to their red door and their white picket fence. Yeah. Feel me? I'm walking over bullet cases and blood still there for somebody just got shot previously. And that's the type of situation that I didn't let it stop me. And then the vice president during this time was there, who I talked to, and he said, I'll be honored to have you graduate from Sinclair, and I did. So,
man, much respect and salute to you.
Oh.
And so, man, listen, your story is phenomenal, man, and I want you to keep doing what you're doing. I got one last question for you, and this one is deep, but I'm gonna give it to you because you my guy.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what's your message to those who are struggling to find their own path to success?
Man, as I like to say, man, don't be a dumbass with a smartphone. I know it sounds messed up, but I'm telling you, man, sometimes you're sitting right on your answer, man. I always like to say, be smarter than the problem, man. Like, I really feel like if you study long enough on whatever that problem is, look at the footprints of others. If you lost, look at the footprints of others, right? You're not the only person to go through that. Like, I just had to counsel somebody the other day. They told me, man, I failed my 2 tests and I can't take the test again until next year. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like, there's another test that you can actually take. You can move around in your job description. You can be a teacher because you have a master's already. And I'm thinking, like, you have a master's and you said somebody, you don't know what you're going to do. There's people out there who have nothing. Like, and I'm just trying to, like, so to me, I always like to look at stuff differently. Like, I'm the optimistic friend. When you call me talking about everything that's going wrong with you, I'm telling you everything that's going great with you. And to me, I just think you got to find those breadcrumbs of success of others and follow those to those journeys that's going to take you into another wave. I'm telling you, man, like, every messed up road that happened to me or I put myself in, it led to something better. I mean, like, even now with, it's like somebody who was in trouble for this, that, and the third. I mean, I got that expunged off my record. I've done so many great things where I could have just let that be on my record and let that be my excuse and don't do nothing else on my life and be sitting right next to my friends I was sitting with. But instead, I'm doing something different, helping my community, building it up. And then, like, they sitting on the sideline saying, bro, I'm so proud of you. But I'm just like, bro, you could have done this too.
Yeah, could have did this again.
And y'all can do it too.
Absolutely. So I do want to say, if you could just give some of the resources, and I know that you are a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, for sure.
And I know it's so many resources that you have out there, and this is for everybody, including and making sure our entrepreneurs know this. Just like you said, you know, we go through these troubles and we have these situations, and I don't want to call them mistakes. I just want to call them lessons. For sure. And we go through these life lessons and we go through these things, but sometimes we just don't know where to go. Like you said, you know, you had a low record and you got it expunged. Yeah. A lot of us, and our whole back is the fact that we don't even know where to go or how to start the process or things like that. Mm-hmm. So if you can just, you know, give them some resources that they can check out, some places they can go, you know, to help them on their journey to get their foundation solid, to go in any direction they want to go in, whether it's in entrepreneurship, higher education, skill trade, whichever way they want to go. Just give them a couple resources.
Okay, so one I'm gonna give you right now is Angelina Jackson. I actually helped her on the campaign trail for her to become a common pleas judge, right? Her and one of her campaign managers is right now running a campaign right now to help people get their records expunged, right? So that's one. So Angelina Jackson on Facebook for your record being clean. Every year around August or September, they do a deal for if you got if your driving records all messed up, they'll wipe off all of your fees and you just pay your court costs. That's one thing to help my brother right now, which I'm calling you back, Lynn. I swear I am, because he was stuck here, literally not better do nothing with his life because his, you know what I'm saying? Like he couldn't drive, so he kept getting pulled over, just trying to go back and forth to work. He got his driver's license now. He out in Florida driving trucks and stuff like that, taking care of his family, stuff like that. Another one I'm gonna give you right now is I do Greg West for Felons with a Future, man. So if you are a person right now who you just came home and you trying to get a job, he literally has an internship where you can learn how to, you know what I'm saying, like work concrete, this, that, third. He'll end up hiring you for the city. So that's a way for you to get out of whatever you in. And of course, you all can go to Dash Resource on YouTube, and I drop grants, money-making strategies, stocks, tips, and all things like that as well, which I'm gonna give y'all one real quick, man. Uber Eats just approved for them to take EBT money. So you know what that means for that stock, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So y'all better get into it. So once again, I always like to leave us with a final thought. Number one, everything that we talked about today always led us back to this. No excuses. There's no excuses for you not to be great. And everybody that comes in contact with us or is just out there in the community and you really want to do something, the sky's the limit. We've all been faced with adversity. We've all been faced with things that just was difficult. No matter how difficult it was or no matter what your journey and your path was, you have no excuse to not be great because you have an ability to wake up. You were blessed with that. And when you wake up, you have an opportunity to continue to be successful. So what I want to tell y'all is please keep tuning in to us because we're going to keep dropping more gems. We're going to keep doing more every time. And remember, it's always no excuses. No excuses. You got to get up in the morning. You got to go to work. You got things you got to do. So before we sign off, as always, this podcast was brought to you by Merit Films. Sully, amazing on the everything. He's amazing. Hey, listen, if you don't know, if you need any audio, visual, anything film, make sure you go to Sully at amerifilms.com and we will get you hooked up. He's amazing. He's phenomenal. So for all of y'all that don't know, keep tuning in. We're on all platforms and we love y'all and we'll see you next time. Bye.